Hello YouTube viewer, Mike Jackal here. Today I looked up this video on YouTube and I couldn't find anybody doing it, so I thought I'd do it based on my experience. Now, I recently bought the Johnson Millennium Stereo 150 from America. I couldn't find one for sale in this country. I don't know how many of them were imported. I would guess it's a small number. And the nearest one I think was in Germany. And they wanted something ridiculous. And it wasn't even the Millennium, it was the Marquee series, and they wanted £700 for it plus shipping. So you know, you could have got a vintage boutique twin reverb or something for that money from the 60s or 70s. So that was out. So I thought one came up on eBay, $350. Whoa, cheap. I'll just import it. So I imported it, and after I bought it I realised you guys in the good old US of A over there, you'll use these little plugs, 2-pin. I thought, well, that's not going to plug into the wall, because we have here in the UK, let's just find a plug. Oh, for those Americans that don't know, we have 3-pin plugs. This is an earth, line neutral. Okay. So I know America has 3-pin plugs. On the 2-pin plug you get a third pin that comes out of here, but not all appliances have it. General day-to-day things, lamps and stuff, don't. And I've no idea why you wouldn't put an earth on, but different between the currents, obviously, AC and DC. Now, I am not an electrical engineer, I have no electrical training, and my knowledge on this is very limited, but here's what I have learnt from buying this amp. US current, 110, 120 volts out of the wall. The number varies from what different places I've read. 110, 115, 120, something like that, volts. UK, the power that comes out of your wall and into your plug is 240. Sometimes it says 220, sometimes 230 volts. So whichever way you look at it, the power that's coming out is double what it does in the US. So if I plug this from this amplifier, which is got a power transformer that wants the US current into a UK plug socket, then the transformer and whatever unfortunate piece of hardware happens to be connected at that time will explode and fry and die, and that's the end of the amplifier. So, how do you get around that? Well, one option is to get the power section removed by somebody who knows what they're doing, an amplifier repairer or a qualified electrical engineer. Some amps, modern amps, do have a switch. Like, the only example I could find was a heavy one. So here, on the back of a tower computer, where you input your power, there's a little switch here that says 115 volts, switch it, 240 volts. So that has an adjustable attenuator, if you will, to select which power source you are using. But if you're looking at, this is the example I'm going to use, looking at an amplifier like this, which is rare in the UK, and you don't want to spend loads of money buying one from the Germans, or there's a really boutique vintage Fender silverface blackface amp or something that's on sale in the US, and it's only on sale in the US. Or say your favourite guitarist ever, insert name here, is having an auction and is selling off his amplifier, and you think, wow, I'm going to be able to play through, insert name, his amplifier. It's not going to work, is it? And you don't want to be modifying the power section of a vintage boutique amp or anything like that. So an easy option is to buy yourself one of these. This is a step down transformer. It says AC to AC converter. The input is 230 volts and the output is 110 volts. Two plugs on, so you could have two of these amps plugged in at the same time if you had them. I know I'm rambling. I was trying to keep this short, but it's not working, is it? So, a step down transformer. The first thing you need to establish before buying one of these is what the power requirement of your amplifier is. That's not this is a 150 watt amp, therefore it needs 150 watts. No. Amplifiers draw a lot more power in than they put out the speakers in RMS. So you look at your manual, you contact the manufacturer or somebody who knows what they're talking about, and you say how much power does this amp require. Now this particular one, Johnson Millennium Stereo 150, requires 500 or 550 watts. Some people either say watts or some say VA, voltage amps or something or other. Like I said, I'm not an electrical engineer, so I don't know the specifics. But this 550 watts, this draws. So if I bought the step down transformer that was rated at 400 watts output, which could deliver 400 watts, then it would burn out very quickly because it's been worked too hard. You work something too hard, you know. Same as any piece of equipment. If you try to get it to do more than it actually wants to do, then it will burn out. So this draws 550 watts, 550 watts. So if you were using a transformer that put out 600 watts, then yes, it would run, but if you were running that continuously, say you did a 2-hour gig 3-4 times a week, and that's running at almost maximum capacity the entire time, then it's gonna burn out quicker, isn't it? It's not gonna last. So the manufacturers of this particular one, which is a Mercury, which I got on eBay, and it's very heavy because it's obviously got a big transformer inside it. They say if you are 400 volts or less, you can leave it on a long time. This is 1000 watt max total output, so you can have 500 there, 500 in there, not more than that. So if you're 400 or less, you can leave it pretty much constantly. You could have it powering an American appliance like a fridge or a freezer continuously and it'd be fine. Now if you're above 400, between 400 and an hour, short time working mode, not more than 1 hour. So at 500 watts, this is just above half the capacity of this. Now, not more than 1 hour, I think that's being overcautious. If you're running at half capacity, then I don't think you're going to burn it out if you'd used it for an hour and a half. But if this was drawing 1000 watts through, then that would be at near capacity and burn out much quicker. So at half capacity, I think I can run this for many hours. You know, I could have it at a gig set up for 4 hours and it's not gonna die on me. Now the price of these transformers, that one was on eBay. It was about £40. It was on sale. Might even been less than that. It was on sale, but I've seen them for £100. I've seen them for a few £100s, and I've seen them cheaper than that. And you know, it's electrical components. The cheaper you get, you are going to suffer on quality. So I went a sort of cheapish, but not the cheapest route. So that's all I wanted to say really. And it probably, somebody more eloquent could have summed this up in about 3 minutes, but I've babbled on much longer. So if you are buying an amplifier from the US to have it imported, you are going to need something to attenuate the power down to US voltage. Okay, any questions? Don't ask me because I don't know what I'm talking about. Thanks, see you next time.